This week's spoken word is called Suffocate, the Voices of Reason. Still riding roughshod over logic, reason and common sense, this commons-driven government has absolutely no rational defence. Gove dismissed Rupert Hook's right to question Domo's Brexit plan, with the EU Special Advisor, David Frost, who thinks he is the man. Interfering, Gove demonstrably showed his contempt for honest scrutiny of the flummoxed, red-faced Frost. His purported moral high-ground tirade, his agitated integrity on the viewing public was definitely not lost. Cummins remains a poisonous thorn, Bojo just cannot remove. God knows what's coming down the line. It depends on how much you can prove. So gather all your headlines and don't dilly-dally and waste too much time, because an explosion of multiple scandals will choke the Tories on their bed of lobster and wine. Believe me, it's coming. It's going to hit the fan and stick. It will only become clear when we scrape away the corruption-coated gick. The dead cat strategy has been employed again and again to cover Domo's whiplashed back. Priti Patel is pilloried for her too late quarantine. She's the latest one wheeled out to take the flak. We know what's going on. Bojo and Domo's tactic is to distract, and many more distracts. But they squirm like slimy worms. They just cannot escape the facts. First this week is quarantine too late. Protect the care homes? No. Let's leave them to their fate. Correlation of figures of BAME, community debts hedging bets so obviously a blind man could see. Yet proudly the NHS staff still went into the firing line for you, and no doubt they did for me. Poor George Floyd had to lose his life to police brutality. Ugly, racist, hostile, naked, there for all to see. Black people now unchained, but racism still restricts their human right to liberty. It is time the whole of mankind must make a concerted effort to put right the injustice perpetuated through centuries by those who hold the power of law with blood-stained hands. Sit back and listen to their voices. They only wish for parity and freedom to prosper in your land. Can we all just step back and take a pause for a moment and take note? They came to help us on that fateful day on that god-awful windrush boat. It is they that share the heavy COVID burden compassionately, but dying disproportionately. Dying to save our lives in. Dying not the colour and creed, but dying with common decency, dying for humanity. Sometimes gestures can reach out and touch the stone-hard heart, can assist the dignified democratic determination to play a leading part. We know racism must be eradicated if God's will truly be done, and certain demigods must not be allowed to dominate and rule by the threat of the murderous handheld gun. So in conclusion, I say this, with humility and with all sincerity. Let the whole world adopt the posture and go down on just one knee. Realize once and for all that to achieve a universal peace where all men stand equal, proud and tall, the gun, racism, hatred, greed, hostility must be seen and heard to fall. That all-encompassing warmth of brotherhood and that last gunfire echoed sound will give us hope of a future where God just might be found. Suffocate the voice of reason and the very word that cannot breathe. If love is our last hope, then we must plant that wondrous seed. Through the eyes of children, we must look to change the way things are, because they are the future, and we must protect it for them before we go too far. I call on all nations, all colours, all creeds, in fact all ethnicities. Let this be the turning point, and as you say, go down upon our knees. Let it be the symbol that makes us try with all our might to stand against injustice for humanity's sake. Do what you all know is absolutely necessary and justifiably right. Thank you for the opportunity over the last 11 weeks to put my thoughts and feelings out there. I know one day that God will answer all my simple prayers.